Up next, we have Dr. Felix Heide, Assistant Professor of Computer Science at Princeton University and Head of AI at Torc Robotics. Felix specializes in computational imaging and computer vision. He co-founded Algolux, advancing AI-driven vision for autonomous vehicles, which was acquired by Torc Robotics in 2023. His keynote is titled Bringing 3D Holograms to Everyday Eyewear, a New Era of Immersive Displays.
Thank you so much for the kind intro. And thank you for having me. So I'd love to shine some light on how far we are in making holographic displays a reality. And so realizing really the transformative potential of augmented and virtual reality is fundamentally tied to the display technology. That's the point I'm trying to make. While virtual reality is really accessible now via the headsets that some of you may have in your homes that contain conventional magnifying optics and OLED displays, augmented reality requires a different type of display technology. And holographic displays promise to be exactly that technology by throwing away all the bulky optics and instead directly modulating the wavefront that we emit into the eye and ultimately ending up on the retina with a phase spatial light modulator. And so where are we with this technology? So looking at state-of-the-art phase holography, folks have been able to achieve high-quality imagery, such as the images that I'm showing here that were captured from a holographic display. But the reality is, comparing this to a conventional VR display that is more than 100 degrees of field of view, these display methods have been limited to really tiny field of view, so 10x smaller. That's ultimately not the only issue. Fully immersive holography must also solve accommodation burgeons, high image quality, must be real-time, and allow for accurate 3D occlusion and parallax. But one of the key issues is really this wide field of view and the lack of a large eye box that's there. And one approach that we explored in order to fix this is by introducing a learned element, so a learned it-and-do expander in the optical path between the SLM and the imaging optics that you're looking through. And this element expands it-and-do, as the name says. So it-and-do is the product of field of view and eye box size, so the area that I can observe an image in. And I want both to be large, which brings us to the fundamental issue of why holographic technology hasn't made it yet. That's the SLM technology. So what we really want for holographic displays is 100 degrees of field of view and a 20 millimeter eye box roughly. What we can achieve today with existing SLMs is really 4 degrees and at the same eye box size. That gives us these really tiny images that I'm showing you on the right side with a small field of view. So adding this element that I mentioned before that we designed, we can increase this dramatically from the left to the right, so by a 64x factor an increase of it-and-do. It's learned by implementing a differentiable image formation model and training the it-and-do expander then similar to the weights of a neural network in a generative video based model approach. So when we built this expander with nanoimprint, added this into the holographic benchtop setup that I'm illustrating here on this particular slide. It's just one single element that allows you to get these like really dramatically increased it-and-do experiments from before. But as you can see here from this video, we still need to solve for noise, which is an open problem that we're working on with generative video models as well. So got a lot further, but we still have a lot to do on the quality side. But even if we had all the quality, and would get these results from before, holographic displays are still not practical. And that's because observing a hologram, it doesn't actually look like this, where a camera here is observing a hologram displayed on an SLM. It looks more like this, where we have human observers, of course, in the eyesight here. So what's really happening is that when we illuminate an SLM here, after illuminating, that light enters the eye and it interacts with the eyelashes. And it does not only interact with the eyelashes, but also with so-called floaters. These are accumulations of protein in the eyeball, and both are random and cannot be calibrated out. So existing methods don't really fix this at all. And they can cause severe artifacts, as you can see here, for these vertical eyelashes overlaid on this image of a seal. So this is a fundamental issue. And it's fundamental because if you look at smooth face holograms, which the field has largely been adopting, such as the one that I'm illustrating here, propagating these through an imaging area on the retina fundamentally results in obstructed images. However, if you have random holograms, such as the one that I'm showing you here, this does not happen because we have random propagation of direction. So ultimately, randomness is again the answer to save the day to allow us to get us there. That's entirely different than all of the holographic methods that have become state of the art in the last couple of years. So learning to generate a random hologram allows us to remove these artifacts as shown here. So I'm showing you here before and after images with the eyelashes, and it also allows us to remove some of the floaters in the eyeballs, again showing before and after here in the results. So to sum up, for fully immersive AR glasses, I think this time is right because we need holographic displays that do not only overcome the limitations of 10 years of progress in SLM technology, we can do that in software, but also displays that are robust to the observer. So we're not quite there yet, but there's a super high potential because we're at the time where we have enough compute to make this happen and holographic displays to get us quality that's indistinguishable from reality. And with that, I'd like to thank you.